Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video from CANIN. My name is Debbie Bain, and today we will be talking about the palatability of food for animals. This is an area of great importance to us at CANIN, and this is because you can have the best formula in the world, but if an animal does not want to eat it, then they will not get the benefit of the food. We want animals to enjoy eating our food every day. So what is palatability really? Palatability is a characteristic of the food which determines whether it will be eaten or rejected by an animal. Palatable food will meet the needs of the animal, be the preferred option, it will be accepted and therefore well consumed, and it will rarely be refused. You cannot say a food will never be refused, because the way an animal is feeling within himself will also determine his wanting to eat. Many factors affect the palatability of food. Some are in our control and others are not. Raw materials, so what goes into the food, is the first step in ensuring optimal palatability. Different formulas will have different tastes based on amounts of certain ingredients. For example, in general, formulas with a higher fat tend to be more palatable, as we all know. How the food is manufactured plays a critical role. How long it is cooked for, what the moisture content is, etc. will all have an effect on palatability. The aroma of food plays a huge role in palatability, and we'll go into this deeper just now as to why. Finally, storage plays a big role in the taste of food as well. If food is not stored correctly, or in other words in airtight containers, it has more chance of becoming rancid and stale. It also needs to be consumed before its best before date. These are just a few factors affecting palatability. There are many other factors which we will have a look at. Choosing food for our animals is more complicated than it looks. First of all, animals select their food based on the smell of the food. Then it is the ability to pick it up and chew it. Thirdly, it is the taste and the aroma of the food. And finally, it is what is known as post-ingestion sensation, which is how they feel after eating. Let's have a look at each of these. First, selection. Selecting food is based on the aroma, so the smell of the food for the animal. In cats and dogs, this is a powerful motivator for selection of food. Dogs and cats smell much better than human beings. This is based on the number of olfactory glands they have, so these are the smell sensors. Dogs smell even better than cats, and this is why they are used for detection. Chihuahuas are the smallest dog in the world, and they have the least amount of olfactory glands, so smell receptors, of any dog, and this is why they are one of the fussiest breeds. The aroma of food can be enhanced by warming it up a bit. Cats prefer food at body temperature, which is important to remember if we have wet food in the fridge. It's best to warm it up slowly to body temperature before feeding. Rather warm over a hot bowl of water than in the microwave, as microwaves do not heat food evenly and you can have warm as well as cold bits, which may put the animal off. The next step for an animal in choosing its food is the ability for the animal to pick up the food and chew it. The hardness of the kibble plays a role in an animal's ability to chew the food. A kibble that is too hard will not be able to be penetrated by the animal's teeth, and so this needs to be taken into consideration, as well as the size of the kibble. If you consider the difference between the size of a Yorkshire Terrier and a Great Dane, it is easy to understand why a Yorkie could not eat a Great Dane kibble, and vice versa, a Great Dane would eat a Yorkie kibble way too quickly, which could end up causing other issues. Just like we do not want animals to battle to chew, we don't want them to skip it completely either. Chewing food is an important part of maintaining healthy, clean teeth. Taste and aroma also have a big impact on the palatability of food. Unlike human beings, dogs and cats do not taste as well as human beings do. You can see this from the graph in how they differ. Now there are 5 types of taste receptors. Some are appealing to animals, and some are not. This is sweet, sour, salty, umami, and bitter. Umami is a type of savory taste. The dog has all of these receptors. Interesting to note that cats cannot taste sweet. Taste of food can be enhanced by using a palatant. This is a powder or liquid that is applied as a coating to the kibbles. This will help mask unpleasant tastes and stimulate appetite in animals that are not well. Finally, how the animal feels after it has eaten has a huge effect on palatability of the food. It may sound a bit odd, but I'm sure most of you have experienced some sort of food poisoning after eating something before. And since then, you've probably avoided that food. This is because you have a negative association with that food, in that the last time you ate it, you felt awful. The same thing for our animals. And this is why if animals have to be hospitalized, we try to feed them something different to what they get at home, so that when they do go home, they will not have an aversion to their regular food. Satiety is the feeling of being full and satisfied. This is a pleasant feeling after you have eaten, and this will affect the feeding behavior of animals, as well as begging behavior, which is a real plus in our overweight pets. So after all of this is said and done, how do we know if food is palatable? Well, easily really. We observe animals' feeding behavior. Remember, every cat and dog is different and will have their own preferences for food. We have tried to accommodate for this factor with things like our breed diets, stage of life diets, health conditions, and we will continue to optimize as best as we can for each animal. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, if you have any questions or queries, please do not hesitate in getting hold of us. Bye.